Hey everybody, welcome to week 3 of Spring into Action. This is for Monday, March 26th through Saturday, March 31st. So hope you guys are doing great with week 1 and week 2. I wish that I could see your faces more and see how you're doing. I hope this challenge is, my idea for this challenge was to not give you more things to do, but to actually give you tools and help you stay a little bit energized and incentivized to keep sharing and continue what you're doing, and just kind of have fun with it. So I hope that so far week 1 and week 2 have been good for you. Please personal message me, text me, call me. Let me know how you're doing. Let me know if you have questions. Let me know if there's anything that I can do to make this better for you, or if you have suggestions. I'm open to all sorts of things. Like I talked about last week, it's been a while since we've done one of these, and so these programs really are for you. And so we are open to any kind of feedback that you might have that would make this better, either during this challenge or for one in the future. So the idea is to continue to do these and to bring people on as we do them and make them better and better as we go. So welcome to week 3. As you know, this will be posted on the Facebook page. On Saturday, week 3 points will be posted. I'm sorry about week 2. I had it scheduled, and I scheduled it for week 2 to actually post next week for week 3. So I apologize. Week 2 is up there. I will accept points up until Monday for week 2, because that was my fault that it was not posted on Saturday when it was supposed to. So this week, the week 3 points will be posted. It'll look just like this on Saturday. I've double checked the timed post, and we're set to go. So again, your homework will be in the files section, your homework tracker or your points tracker. And again, it'll look just like this, just like week 1 and week 2, except it says week 3, same format. 5 points for sampling, 5 points for following up. Again, I'm not going to go through all of that and waste your time. Specifics on that are back in the week 1 webinar. So if you have questions on that, or again, just contact me. This week's live will be presented by Cindy Coons, and I am leaving bright and early at 4 in the morning for leadership, and so I didn't have time to connect with her and find out when she's going to present this week. So since most people can't be on live, I will post and let you know when I find out when she's going to be doing it, but I don't have it. It won't be on your homework tracker. Because again, I'm posting those tonight, and I'm not sure when she's going to be on, but sometime this week she will be on the Pure Essentials group, Spring into Action Facebook page or group, sorry, and she will be live. Again, you can watch the recording of that. This week's presentation, which is this webinar, is on the Live Guide, so we're going to go through that today. So that will be your 25 points for that, and then this week's weekly incentive for anybody that personally enrolls someone with 100 PV is going to be Cedarwood. And let's talk about Cedarwood for a minute, why I chose this one. So part of the reason I chose it, we are still running the Sweet 16 March Madness campaign on the Pure Essentials group Facebook group. And so I had this will be Monday, March 26th. This is one of the Sweet 16 oils, which means it's an oil less than $16. But I chose it for this week's incentive, not only so that you guys could have all the information to share with your people that'll be posted on there, but it is the oil of community. And I thought that fit right in with what we're trying to create here. Not only are we trying to create a sense of community between us, your leaders, and you guys, and your leaders and the people that we want to bring on as leaders. We want to create this sense of community, not just in our Pure Essentials group, but with doTERRA as a whole, and just our whole family. We really want to make this a positive place and a place where people feel welcome. So the thing I love about this oil is it helps people get a sense of community both ways. And I went through my book and I was highlighting what I wanted to talk about, and I ended up highlighting the whole thing. So bear with me while I just read this to you, because I think it's really awesome. Cedarwood brings people together to experience the strength and value of community. Those in need of cedarwood struggle to form bonds within social groups. This can often be due to an overdeveloped sense of individuality. Rather than allowing themselves to be supported by family, friends, or a community, they live by excessive self-reliance, and I'm very, very guilty of this. On the other hand, the individual's difficulty forming social roots may also stem from feeling disconnected and separate from the human family. So you could feel that need to be self-reliant for many different reasons, but I really like that one. Cedarwood inspires the feeling of belonging and assists the heart in opening to receive the love and support of other people. I love that. It invites the strong-willed individual to couple the strength of individuality with the supportive power of community. So we don't have to lose our sense of power, which I think a lot of times people feel that way when they join a community. They can actually just have that supportive power of the community and couple it with their own strength. So cedarwood supports individuals in seeing that they are not alone, that life is a shared experience, and I love that as well. It is meant to be a shared experience. Cedarwood also assists in opening the awareness of individuals to the support system that is already available to them, such as friends or family that they may have overlooked. And also we want you to know, of course, you have your support system here with the Pure Essentials group and with the Truman team and doTERRA as a whole. Cedarwood invites individuals to both give and receive, so they may experience the strength of groups and the joy of relationships. So again, some negative emotions that cedarwood would help with: if you have an inability to form social bonds, if you're feeling lonely, if you're feeling separate from the human family, if you're feeling antisocial, cedarwood would be an awesome choice for you. It is going to help you feel emotionally connected. It's going to help you feel belonging, help you feel supported, help you with your social bonds, help you be more sociable and community oriented. So again, I just loved cedarwood for that reason, that we are really trying to create this oil community, an oil community of sharers, builders, users, whatever it is. We really don't care. We just really want people to feel welcome and loved and at home using the oils. So again, cedarwood is free for anybody that you personally enroll this week, week 3, March 26th through the 31st. This will be up and posted on the Spring Into Action Facebook group. And remember, you will just put their name and their either customer or advocate number next to that, and we will mail that out for you. So good job on enrollments this week. I don't have an enroller for week 2 yet. That will be posted this week and mailed out on Thursday. Again, sorry, I will be at Leadership West Coast this week, and so most things will happen when I return on Thursday. Okay, so last week, I just want to review a little bit what we talked about. Again, on these webinars or Zooms, we're trying to really give you tools that you can put in your tool belt and help you feel more confident in sharing the oils, and then our lives will be, again, more on mindset. So I really wanted to dive into this Empowered Success series that the guidebooks that doTERRA is actually sponsoring for us and putting out. Last week, if you remember, on week 2 webinar, we talked about Healthy Can Be Simple handout, and also went over a natural solutions class. And so the next couple of weeks, we're going to be going over the Live, Share, Build, and Launch. This week, again, is going to be live. So I wanted to remind you where you can find these on doTERRA.com. If you go to our advocates, click on Empowered Success, it looks like this, and you can see they're all laid out beautifully. You can click right on them, or you can click over here. This is where you can purchase them, and you can also, again, download them and look at them right on your computer. I do suggest, again, that as we're going through this, that you have one in front of you, either on your computer, or you'll be able to see my slides, but I am old school and love to have things in my hand and write notes, so that's what works for me. But definitely know where you can find these so that you can give them to other people. And again, I do suggest giving them actual physical copies. Even if they are not near you, I do suggest mailing them. And we'll get into that a little bit more in today's class. So again, this is the live, this is what we're just looking at up here. And then if you scroll down further, again, we're in our advocates under Empowered Success. If you click on this team training, that is where you're going to find other webinars. So I'm going to do, again, one today on the Live Guide, but you can actually go in here and click right here and watch somebody else present on it as well. And I do think that that's a good idea. It is so good to hear from different people. Some people are going to relate to other people better. You might like somebody else's style more than mine. I watched this, like I said last time, 2 or 3 times before I started presenting on it. And so this is where I actually got my knowledge on it. So just want you to be aware where you can find these. Also so that you can show other people. Remember, the idea is to duplicate this, and education is power. And so we want people to know where they can find what they need. Okay, again, when we're talking about building our pipeline, this is in the build guide, which we will go over in a couple of weeks, but we talked about this last week. These 2 things are to help you invite people, help you present to people, and then once you enroll them, this is where we're really going to dig in the next few weeks. This Live Guide is part of enrolling them in the LRP program. So let's start talking about that. Again, these have job titles. Look at these again like tools. What do I need help with? If I need help sharing and inviting, I'm going to use this. If I'm going to teach a class or need help enrolling people, do a one-on-one, I would reach for this. Again, we want to enroll people in the LRP program. We're going to talk about today, so we're going to go with the Live program. Okay, so this is what the guide looks like. It's beautiful, and it says right on it, lifestyle overview. And that's exactly what this is. This is not the same thing as a membership overview. And I'm going to talk about a membership overview a little bit more at the end. And I'm actually, next week's webinar is going to be an actual, part of it is going to be an actual membership overview that you can share with other people if you want to do that. But they are 2 different things, and we'll talk about that. Again, the main job of this Live Guide is to help them with lifestyle and to enroll them in the LRP program, that Loyalty Rewards program, because really that is the foundation of, if they're going to have an oil lifestyle, then that LRP program is going to be the foundation of that. Going through this Live Guide, you could go through this with someone. If you're just kind of showing them the basics, you could do it in 5 minutes. I don't suggest it, but reality is that that's going to have to work for some people. I think most importantly, if you really sit down and go through this with someone the way that it's meant to be gone through, it's going to take you about 25 minutes. But again, adjust it to what people's needs are. So just remember to kind of read their body language. We're going to talk about setting up an appointment with them. Again, if you go through everything, it's a lovely guide, but it would take a little bit longer. So know that you can go through it a little bit faster if you need to. So someone, I don't remember who, called this the second enrollment, and I really love that, because we have their first enrollment where we get them involved in the oils and introduce them to the oils, and the second enrollment really is LRP. And this is huge. The reason we call this the second enrollment is because you have to have this for retention. If you want someone to have lifestyle, if you really want to build a pipeline, LRP is the foundation of that. And so this is very, very, very important. With this guide, you are going to help you, as you can see with the bullet points, you're going to help new members use the products that they have. We're going to help them set up a daily wellness plan. We're going to help them maximize their membership. We're going to connect them to resources and community, and we're going to show them that it is possible to change not only their lives, but other people's lives as well. We talked about that last week, how we were first inviting them to change their lives, and then we furthered that challenge and invited them to maybe think about sharing with others. So we're going to pick up right where we left off. We're going to pick up with assuming that they went to a natural solutions class that we talked about last week, and the ideas that were presented in that natural solutions class, the idea of self-directed healthcare, the idea of lifestyle, daily habits, the idea of with a book in a box, you can handle things in your home. All of those lovely seeds that were planted in that natural solutions class are going to carry over into this Live Guide. So let's just jump right in and get started. So when you're meeting with someone, again, depending on how much time you have, you can read through this with them or just kind of touch on things. On this first page, what I think that is worth touching on is when it reminding them that they, congratulations, you have made that choice. Remember, we talked about in the Natural Solutions class that they have a choice, that we are not just dealing with symptoms and just trying to cover things up that way, that they actually have the choice. They chose into this self-directed healthcare. And so we want to remind them of that. We can remind them here in that second paragraph where it talks about with a reference guide and a box. Again, remember, a book and a box of essential oils. They're at their fingertips, and they're prepared to address 80% of their health problems in their home. And so it's important to, again, touch on that. And then on this next page, this is where we want to introduce them to the wellness pyramid. And doTERRA has had this wellness pyramid from the very beginning, and I actually have taught from it. If you've ever seen me teach a class, I think I use it in every single class that I teach. I love this pyramid. It teaches people lifestyle. And again, lifestyle is retention. You're talking about daily habits. And when you can get them to see that, yes, these oils are fabulous and they're wonderful and they're miracles, but you do need to have an overall health pyramid. You do have to eat right. You do have to exercise, rest and manage your stress. You do have to reduce your toxic load. And what we want to do is teach them about the products that can help each step of the way. And so with this, as you can see, it's kind of color coded. We have put probably the most used doTERRA product to help them eat right, to help them with exercise. So this is almost a quick reference guide for them. I'm maybe concerned with how I'm eating. They can flip to page 3 and see what is the #1 recommended product that doTERRA has that would help me improve with, this step of the pyramid. So we're actually going to have them rate themselves. If you can see these boxes right next to the pyramid, we want them to rate themselves on a scale from 1 to 10 on how they are doing with eating right. And they can answer this for themselves personally. They can answer this for their family. Most people will answer probably overall for their family. But how are they doing with eating right? How are they doing on a scale from 1 to 10 with exercise? And really get them to answer honestly. This is for them. Remember, the point of this is to get them to see themselves using these products and see how they can help them in their daily lives. So once they've rated themselves, we're going to jump right into the pyramid. So we're going to start out with eating right. Again, it's all color coded with the green. As you can see here, we're starting right off with the green, eat right. So on this page are the products that are going to help their gut. Really, we're talking about how the products are going to help them use the food that they eat and help them eliminate the best. So again, you can touch on all of these products. Please remember that this is not a class where you're teaching them about each product. You're just introducing them to what doTERRA has for them to live a lifestyle that's basically clean and full of wonderful products that are good for their family. I love that they have these tips up here that don't have anything to do with doTERRA. It's just talking about overall health. It reminds them to try and eat whole food, fresh foods, to kind of decrease their sugar, caffeine, and processed foods. So I love that this is, again, overall lifestyle. If what I can recommend for you is to try this green smoothie. I've tried it. So that you know when you're talking to them, you can say, you know what, I make this smoothie 2 or 3 times a week and I actually love it. You want to be a product of the product. So when you're talking to them, really whatever you're telling them that you do, they are going to pay the most attention to. So when I'm talking to somebody about eating right and I tell them that the entire family takes these, they really do. We really do, and I can give them a personal experience about each one of my family members that takes these. I can tell them honestly, we each take Terrazyme every single day. In my family, we actually take all of these products every single day, and when I can tell them that, my 12-year-old takes this, my 15-year-old takes 1 of each of these, I as an adult take 4 of these. So when you can tell them with confidence that yes, you use these have made a difference in your life, then it helps them to be able to see themselves using them as well. So make sure that you at least have some story or something. Again, you're not going to tell them all of them, but you are going to touch on things and just introduce things to them. Now, remember, they've rated themselves. So if they rated themselves like a 9 out of 10, you're not going to spend too much time on this page. You're just going to, kind of jump through it and say, oh, these would be awesome to assist you with your, you already do a great job with eating right. This would give you a great foundation. You can touch on it, but you're not going to spend the most time here, right? Because that's not where they feel like they need the most help. Again, this is not a class. This is just introducing them to the wellness pyramid. So then we're going to go to the next one, exercise. And this, again, pay attention to what they rated themselves. If you know that weight loss is one of their concerns, then spend a little bit more time down here on the weight loss plan. If you know that they, again, rated themselves a 9 on this, just touch on things that maybe you think might help them. On page 3, we talked about Deep Blue. Maybe that's all you need to talk about with, sorry, I went back too far, with this exercise page. Ask them questions. Ask them what they do for their exercise. If someone says that they love to practice yoga, then maybe that's the time to, even though there's not a picture on it here, introduce, oh, we have some new yoga oils. Introduce them to that. If they don't say anything about yoga oils, then maybe don't mention it. But again, try and personalize it to what they answered and what you know that they do or what they're telling you they do. We're then going to go to the next page. Again, this is just an intro class, or not even a class, just an introduction to all these things, but it's a great time to let them know about upcoming classes. So you can say, at this point, this emotional wheel is amazing. You can introduce them. This is an awesome time to tell them about the Daily Drop app and show them how they can get on there and actually find this wheel or actually ask questions. I should have had slides on here to show you how to do that. On the day, I'll do that on a live and post it this week so that you guys can see that. But this is a perfect time to introduce them to that. But then also to say, you know what, we're touching on these, but we have a whole class on emotional balance next week. You should really come and, learn all about it. So let them know what's coming up. Let them know that you do have a whole class on rest and manage stress, or on just managing stress, or whatever your classes are. Plug them in right here and let them know that we're not going to go through every single one of these oils again. We're just touching them, planting seeds, letting them know that we don't want to overwhelm them. We just want to let them know that things are available. So again, we have these wonderful ideas up here that have nothing to do with doTERRA, just how to do things on their own. Take a bath with Epsom salts down here so that you know what it's like. Again, have a story or two for each one of these products, but again, pay attention to what they rated themselves so you know which page to spend the most time on. Our next page is reducing toxic load. Again, we are following this pyramid. So we did eat right, exercise, talked about this. Now we're to here. So everything is very easy to follow. If they rated this pretty low and they need some help, you can go in specifically to the 30-day cleanse, or you can just let them know it's there and we teach a whole class on it, or if you have questions on it. So again, I know I just keep saying this, but it's very important. You don't want this to drag on for an hour. You don't want to teach them a whole new class. You just want them to know that these things are available and maybe touch on a few that you use themselves. Most importantly, we want them to see themselves doing this on a daily basis and how to incorporate it into their lives. So this last one is informed healthcare. What I wanted to touch on with this one is you're talking to them again up here. We're introducing that, we're not introducing, we are reiterating with a reference book and some oils, you really can take care of so many things. It talks about this 8-vial keychain and maybe some ideas to put in there. And I think this is an awesome gift to give somebody, and we'll talk about how to present that later. But when you're, if you're doing a lifestyle overview with someone and you get to this part, and then you can say to them, oh, and I brought one of these for you, how exciting is that for them to get this gift that they're seeing on this page? And then it helps them even take it one step further and not only visualize themselves using it or getting one, but when they have it in their hands, then it takes it, it's even easier for them to visualize how they're going to use it, how they're going to carry it, what they're going to do. This next page is something that I'm so happy that they added, because this is actually my favorite way to teach people how to use oils, is how to target body systems. And you can introduce them, just really quickly. We have a whole book that targets body systems. It's called The Symphony of the Cells. I use it on my family all of the time. I love that what they did here is they broke it down to the systems, and they mentioned, different options that they can use for these systems, but each one that has a picture and is highlighted is an oil that they probably have if they bought one of the basic kits. If they bought the Natural Solutions kit, they are going to have every single one of these oils. If they bought a Family Physician kit, they are going to have a lot of them. They're going to have the frankincense, they're going to have the peppermint that I just said, the lemon, the On Guard, the Breathe. And so again, we're introducing how to use the stuff they already have. And so it makes it less overwhelming if they think, oh, great, I just bought a kit and now you're showing me all of these other things, things that I need to buy. Most of the things we're talking about in this Live guide are things that if they bought that Natural Solutions kit, or even if they bought just the Family Physician kit, they are already going to have these oils. And I don't even think it's called the Family Physician kit anymore, you guys. I'm sorry, my brain goes, it slips back into things that, you get so used to saying something for years, and I'm sorry if it slipped back to the wrong kit. So, okay, moving on to the next page. This is where we're going to give them ideas on how to boost their rating. So we're going to go back to that page 3. You can actually carry over and write these numbers here if you want. Okay, so you rated yourself a 5 on foundational nutrition. So let's check maybe some of these that you're thinking about getting. Maybe, for sure we want to maybe get these if they have kids, if, talk about each one of these and help them put check marks next to things that are going to help them boost those numbers so that they can get to 10 in each of those categories. Again, do the same thing with exercise. They have optional kits down here, so you can show them they've already put these things together for you, so that you can have them, at a cheaper price on your LRP. So you can mention those to them. But again, just go through and help them maybe to put check marks by things that they're interested in. And then this last part, this targeted, is when you go back here, if they did have a system that they wanted to target, and maybe you picked a couple of these, then when you're filling this out, you can actually put those, anything that they needed off of that targeted system page right there. So then we are going to jump into kind of a wellness consult part of the guide. And what I like to do first is to jump over on this page and help them fill out or put check marks next to all of the oils that they already have. This gives them the sense of, what, I'm already kind of halfway there. I already have these 10 oils, so we're going to go through and we're going to check off peppermint. We've got oregano. We got wild orange for free. I've got eucalyptus that my mom gave me. I know, let's see, I've got lavender. I've got lemon. Got Melaleuca. So you want to go through and help them mark the products that they already have. And then you can come back over here. This is where you're going to introduce to them a reference guide. And these are the 3 main reference guides that are out there. I don't care which one you use, but I do recommend having one with you when you're doing this lifestyle overview. This is huge, because when we keep introducing that with a book and a box, you can do many things, they have to have the book, right? And they're going to need guidance on which book to have. So a lot of times I will have all 3 with me, and I will show them each one and let them kind of decide which one resonates with them. Modern Essentials is one that I use a lot just because I'm used to it. I don't I've used it since it was the first one that came out. So I just really got used to that style. It's very black and white. It's very easy to understand. It's kind of boring, but it's very easy to understand. You've got this one, which Boyd Truman from the Truman Team wrote. I love it because it's very simple and it gives great recipes, and it's very kid-friendly. What I mean is the recipes are good to use on kids as well. So you can look something up very quickly, and it's very specific on things to try. This book is absolutely beautiful. You won't find anything else that has, I mean, the pages are gorgeous, the pictures are gorgeous. It's thicker, and so sometimes it can be a little bit more overwhelming. I get overly sensitive. I get, if there's too much going on, then I tend to get stressed or anxiety. And so I love the ideas in this book, and I definitely use this book as much as Modern Essentials, but sometimes I go back to this again because it's just black and white pages and I can find things quickly. But again, this one is beautiful. It has beautiful pictures, it has recipes, and much more in it that way. So again, everybody is going to like something different. The good thing about this one is it's cheap. You can get it for, if you buy them in bulk, $8 to $10. And so it is a nice one that you can give to them without it being harder on your pocket. And so, again, I'm spending way too much time on this. I'm sorry. Choose a book or have all three so that they can choose, but make sure you have something, because we really, at this point, we have talked and talked and talked about how if you have a book and a box of oils, you can create wonderful things in your home. And so we want to let them know what that book looks like. And we're actually going to pull it out and use it at this point. So here we're going to have them write down their top 3 health priorities for them and their families. If they have that Natural Solutions handout from the class and you've already kind of talked to them about it, pull it out and work on those same 3 things. Or this might be the point where you didn't have time to talk about it in class or after class. And so at this point, you know, maybe when you enrolled them, you said, okay, we're going to set up a lifestyle overview and we can continue to go over your concerns. Remember, we had them fill out what they wanted less of, 3 things, and what they wanted more of. And so this is where they're going to fill in, you know, maybe they wanted less fat, you know, they want to lose weight. So you're actually going to have them write down a 90-day goal. You're going to have them flip back to this page, because remember, this is their guide. This is what they're going to keep, and this is their first thing that they're going to look at. So you can have them look back and say, okay, exercise. This is their first go-to would be Deep Blue. So if they're wanting to lose weight and they're going to start exercising, maybe they go to Deep Blue first. Maybe they go to this page and we look at Slim and Sassy. So use this. They can go back here, and here is listed the top products that they're going to need for that. So again, use what's in this guide already because they're keeping it, but then maybe look something up in one of those other 3 books that we talked about. Then we're going to come over here and we're going to look at, maybe they already have a Slim and Sassy. So you can write it up. This is what they already have. And then we're going to know what do we need in addition to what they already have. You're going to come down here and actually help them come up with a daily plan. And this is how we're putting it into their lifestyle. We're actually telling them what they can do. And the best way to do this is to tell them what you do, or what you know that other people do. You know, I use the vitamins. I take them every morning. I take them every day at lunch, or I take Terrazyme this time. It gives you kind of habits down here to follow, but help them come up with a protocol that they have in front of them that they can follow, and it makes it much easier. Right here, we're going to go over things again that they might be able to do that don't necessarily have to you do with doTERRA. Increase their water. Water is so important. You know, you can talk about adding the oils into it, but maybe these are some things that they can do that way as well. So, you know, back up here, if they want more sleep, let's talk about some 90-day goals. We can go back through this reference guide. What do they already have that's checked off? This is the, you know, most recommended. And then let's look it up in the reference books. Let's come up with a plan for them. And then this is where we're going to help them create based off of what they already have and what they need. We're going to come up with their next 3 months orders. Now this is where you can really, we're gonna talk about LRP next, but this is where you can invite them to enroll in this 90-day goal, in this plan to help boost their lifestyle. And what I do, and this is for my personal enrollments, and these are just some ideas, but it has, for me, made a huge difference in people really getting more involved and excited about lifestyle, is I offer them a free book, and I offer them this one. It's really easy to use. Usually they'll pick one of these up on their own later on, but this is a great starter one, and when I give it for free, of course, it's just easier. It's also easier to carry, so if you're traveling around, it's much easier to take to people. But what I offer them is, you enrolled, and once you do this first month's order, then you actually get this book for free. So I have the program when, again, this is people that I personally enroll, so that I'm getting the fast starts to cover this expense, right? I offer them that book for free after they do their first month's LRP, and it needs to be at 100 PV. And then we talk about their second, and then I also offer them that if they do all 3 of these months at 100 PV, that they get a pedal diffuser. Now, I'm not saying that you need to do this with everybody, because I do understand that when you're starting, you do need that fast start, right? That fast start check is awesome. But the sooner you can start seeing, and we'll talk about this in a minute, that the more you invest in somebody in the beginning, the less you have to invest in them later on. And so getting them on this LRP program is huge, and I can't emphasize this enough. When somebody gets on this program, after they've been on it for 3 months at 100 LRP, very few people cancel. And let me tell you why. By this point, I make it, and I have a list of people I personally contact them for the first 3 months, so that I can say to them, okay, your LRP is scheduled. We go over on how to order, so I make sure that they still know how to log on. This is how you change your order there. After 3 months, they're very comfortable with the computer system. They're comfortable changing their order. They're comfortable with the process. It also gives me an opportunity to talk to them every month. Remember, we made this plan. How is it going? How are your goals going? Is there something we need to change? Do you have a question on anything? Do we need to change something up from what we thought you needed for month 2? Do you need more lemon? Are you running out of this? Should we move whatever we had on month 2 to month 3? Do we need to move something that was on month 3 up to month 2? Gives you the opportunity to have these conversations and a reason to call them, because they know you're going to be checking up on them. They know that now that they've enrolled, once they do this first month's 100 LRP, they're going to get a book for free. And then once they complete the 3rd month, they actually get a pedal diffuser for free. After they've done this for 3 months, they're just used to their account going. By this time, they've also earned at least 100 PV points. So they can see on their account that by placing these 3 orders, they actually have $100 to spend at least in their account. So you can show them that. They've by now also bumped up to the next percentage. So if they started at 10% on the LRP program, they now are at 15%. So for them to call in and cancel, they're going to use all of those points, but then if they do cancel, they're going to have to start back at 10. And so if they understand that just by continuing on this program, even if they fall down to 50 PV or even take a few months off, that they're going to continue to build these points and these percentages, very, very few people actually get off of the LRP program. And if you are truly teaching lifestyle and wanting to change people's lives, and you truly want to have a pipeline and a business from this, then you will understand that promoting this LRP program and following up with this is the most important thing that you can do. And that's why I think this LiveGuide, again, it's not a membership overview. I think it is more important than a membership overview because, well, maybe now is not we'll get into it. A membership overview, and again, we're going to talk about it, and it is important, and I'm going to do this. That's what week 4 is going to be, the webinar. But A membership overview is all information that they can get from calling customer service. It's all information they can find online. It's all information that they can get by doing live chat, or, you know, it's just the nuts and bolts of what they get with a membership. By doing this lifestyle overview or going through this Live Guide with them, you're giving them the actual tools to change their lives. You're helping them with goals. You're showing them how to use their product, which is something that they're not going to get from doTERRA.com unless they dive in on their own and start watching webinars. But if they call customer service isn't going to tell them what the best oil is for a headache. They're not going to be able to tell them what to use on a burn, right? That is our responsibility, to give them the tools that they need, those books, this reference guide, so that they know how to use those oils. So again, you're giving them this guide so they have answers in their hands for that first month. They have on page 3 the most recommended products. They have the breakdown on all of these pages. They have this review here where these again are the most recommended products for this pyramid. And then they have your recommendation for the first month. Then after they do that first month, they get a book for free. And then again, they have that excitement. If I can do this for 3 months, then I get this pedal diffuser free. Again, this is just a recommendation that I have found works very well. If you like this idea, but maybe can't use your fast starts to fund this, then please talk to your upline, because they're a lot of times uplines are willing to help with these kind of incentives because they understand the big picture of getting people on LRP. So again, just some suggestions. So again, here's the books. The last page in this guide, well, not the back cover, but the last page in there, of course, is going over the LRP. And this is really important. And this is where you can show them all of the wonderful perks about this program. So again, the very smartest way for them to use their money, the most cost-effective way for them to get oils by far. They are getting that 25% off, but if you can show them that when these points start adding up, it's like saving 55%. And actually spend some time and walk them through this. Now, they're not going to remember all of this that you tell them, and say that. Say, now you're not going to remember all of these details. That's why this book is for you to keep, but I do want to go through it with you so that you can see how wonderful this program is. We also have this awesome deal where if you get these vitamins that we talked about, we have them on your list, but you can actually choose up to 3 of these and get them at reduced prices. How amazing is that? So we already have your LLV on your list, and we had PB Assist on your list, and Terrazyme. And so you can get them at those reduced prices because you're ordering this LLV. So show them the perks of being on this loyalty rewards program. Show them the minimum orders down here. Show them how this adds up very quickly. And then I love that they added this essential tips at the end, and I recommend that you go through these. These are a lot of times things that people haven't ever heard or didn't remember from the class that you taught them. So again, you're teaching them to use their reference guide. You're telling them that oils work different on different people. If you're not getting the results they want, to try a different way. You're telling them how to massage. You're telling them about putting them on the bottom of the feet. You're giving them those safety guidelines again. You're telling them, to keep them out of direct sunlight and use glass. And it's just some very quick tips that are huge for people's, so they don't make mistakes and feel like they don't know what they're doing with the oils. So I love that they added that in there. Okay, and then on the back cover of this, we have where we are really just going to hook them up with what's the next step, right? A lot of people don't understand what the next step is, and it is your job to let them know what the next step is. So we've given them this great Live Guide. We want to give them their membership number and their password, and then we want to say, okay, the next step is to do a membership over with you so they can help you log onto the computer, make sure you understand how to place your orders and do all that. If you have time after the, right now, let's jump on. It takes about 5 minutes. Show them how right then. If they don't have time, set up another time. Let them know I can be at my house, you can be at yours, but we do need to get on so that you understand how to use your your doTERRA.com website. And then we're just going to touch on what's coming up next. We always have the Empowered Life series. Show them where to find it on doTERRA.com. We have them live once a month, and then if you miss them live, they're all on the back, or they're all on doTERRA.com, so you can see all of this amazing education. There's the daily drop that we talked about earlier when we when we were talking about the emotions wheel. We already downloaded it, so you have that. You're set on that. Talk about the Living Magazine. This is free for people that are on this LRP program, and maybe they got one when they came to the Natural Solutions class. Maybe that's what they got for enrollment. So just touch on that again. Again, talk about whichever essential oil app or book that you're going to use with them. You just want to continue to give them these tools. You want to make sure they have your number. You're their top support. This is maybe their sponsor. This is maybe you. You want to make sure they know what live chat is, that they can email doTERRA at any time. This is awesome, this customer service number, because you are not customer service. And the sooner that you can help people understand that, the better. Of course, you want to help people if they do call you, but you want them to let them know that you really don't have any control over shipping and those type of things. doTERRA handles all that, and so you want to make sure they know how to contact doTERRA. And then this bottom, again, we just need to let them know what the next step is. And at this part, I usually say, now I just want to give you a warning that when you start using these products, you're going to love them. And you're probably going to want to start sharing them if you haven't already thought of people. Maybe, when we did the class, you wrote down people's names. But I promise when you start using these oils, they are going to change your life. And you may want to start changing other people's lives as well. So what I want to, just let you know is we do have a share guide that I can go over with you. I have a build guide. These are our follow-up programs. So I just need to know what my next step is with you so that I'm supporting you in the best way that, whatever you need. And that's usually how I lean into it. So it's never a, hey, they're not feeling pressure to do it. I just let them know, hey, just a warning. This is what happened to me. I started using the oils and I loved them, and I really needed to share them with people. And so I am here for you when you're ready to do this. We have these awesome programs. Just let me know. And most of the time when you're talking with them, they're not going to understand what this is. And so you just need to let them know. Usually people will choose 3 different ways. You signed up as a customer, which is so great. If you do decide you want to be a share, then just let me know and we'll move on to this next step. And if you do decide that you want to earn some commissions with this, maybe pay for your monthly habit, then we can move you up to the build guide. So you just let me know what you need and I'm here for you. And once they understand that it's not a pressure, that you're just there and you have the tools ready and waiting for them, we're planting the seeds. And you are just here to do your job. They just need to communicate with you and let you know which job that's going to be for them, whether you're supporting them as a user, whether you're supporting them as a share or as a builder. And that's usually how I go into that. So I just want to cover really quickly some reality. It is hard people are busy, right? People are busy and you're busy. And a lot of times it's not that people don't want to do a lifestyle overview. It's just hard to get time together. I totally understand this. And this is real. I'll use an example. Joni, who is doing this challenge, wanted some help with her back office. And she told me this over a week ago. We've been texting back and forth. We finally have an appointment next Thursday. So it took us 3 weeks to find a time that both of us could have a half hour to get together. And this is reality in everybody's lives. But I need you to understand the importance of lifestyle overviews and membership overviews. They're really easy not to do. It's really easy to say, oh yeah, just call me when you need to do your first order and I'll show you then. Or, hey, how are the oils working? Great. Okay. It's easy because everybody is busy to not do them. But please remember, the more time you invest in someone in the beginning, the higher your retention rate is going to be. the more time you invest in someone in the beginning, the less time you have to invest later. And I don't mean that a negative thing, like you don't want to invest in people later, but it's less time and less money the more you do up front, because then they're going to start investing in themselves and you're not having to reteach over and over and over. Also remember that this is your job, right? This is the job that you have. You want to be a sharer. If you're doing this as a business, people are purchasing products, and it is your job to teach them how to use them. And again, this doesn't mean that they can call you for the rest of their lives and ask you what to do for their oils, but it is your job to introduce them to the tools that they need to change their lives. They will appreciate your follow-up, even if you feel like you're bugging them. Gosh, she's called me every week for the last 6 weeks to do this lifestyle overview. That's not really what it'll be like. They're going to appreciate that you care enough to continue to want to help them. A lot of people get really nervous when they say, oh, I don't want people to feel like I'm just selling them and I just want to get paid off of their orders. If you don't want people to feel that way, this is the best way to ensure it, because then you didn't just enroll them and drop them. If you really want to show them that this isn't about the money, that you really are interested in changing their lives, then you do need to do a lifestyle overview with them. Otherwise, their lives are not going to change. If they don't use these oils and they're left sitting on the shelf, then their lives aren't going to change. And what you did do them at that point is you did just sell them, because you've taken the fast start, you got paid for enrolling, and you didn't follow up. So please view this as being one of the most important things you can do, and that it is your job. This is what you signed up to do. So here are some ideas to help you kind of make this lifestyle overview easier to happen, I guess is a good way to put it. The best way by far is to schedule the lifestyle overview when you enroll the person. Just let them know it's the next step, and it happens really, really naturally. So, the time of enrollment, you're going to get your oils in the next 3 days. When do you have 20 minutes next week that we can get together so that I can go over your products when you get them, and we can do a quick lifestyle overview so that you know how to use them? And set up the time right then. It's much, much easier to do that instead of waiting till the next week and then texting and saying, okay, what time do you have next week? And it just, I promise, if you can set up a time right when you enroll them, it's much, much smoother. A way that you can go about that is say, hey, with your enrollment, you earned a free lifestyle and a free membership overview. So let's get those scheduled. When do you want to do that? So that they know that this is a benefit for them. This is something that they've earned. By purchasing this doTERRA membership with you, they have earned a free lifestyle and a free membership overview. And so you want to help them take advantage of both of those. Explain what it is. A good way to look at it for me is when you buy a new car, in the glove box, or you have the manual in there that tells you what every single button is for and how to use it all, but how many people have ever really read that? I know I don't. When I have bought in cars, I want my sales guy to sit there with me for 15 minutes, not too long, and just tell me what each of these buttons are. This does this, this does this, and I'm going to remember it 10 times more. And if there's a button that he doesn't tell me about, chances are I probably still don't know what it does, because nobody takes the time to actually get the manual out and read it. And it's the same idea with these oils. If you sit down with them right when they get them for 15 minutes and remind them, this is what this does, this is what this does, this is what I use this for, and it's in this book, they are way more likely to use them and know how to use them from you telling them and you pointing it out in the book so they understand the book is easy, than it is. Some people will never order again if you're not there to help them understand this. Let them know, this is my job to train you. This is just something I do. Let them know that you don't want them to buy these oils and just have them sit on the shelf. This is not what my plan was for you. My plan was for you is to help you. You wanted to enroll in having these options. My plan for you is to help you with these goals. So let's sit down and do this lifestyle overview. Giving them something free when they do have the lifestyle overview. This is going back to when we said maybe offer that keychain for them. think the keychains are $8. You don't even need to fill them. Just giving them the keychain that they can fill themselves is huge. Then they know, oh, when we schedule your overview, I have a gift for you. You could give them the keychain. You could give them the Living magazine if you haven't already given that out, maybe from your class, or just something else small, just something free that they will get. People just love to get small free things. It may just be even an empty spray bottle, whatever. Just something free with the overview. Maybe you could schedule it after the next class. Maybe neither of you have any time, and you can just say, hey, take this guide with you right now. Go home, fill out which oils you already have, kind of read through it, and then if you can just stay after for 5-10 minutes after next week's emotions class, then that'll be awesome. We'll be able to go through the whole thing. So again, just alter that idea of you don't have to actually have an hour set down. Just when's the next time? Just always try to figure out when the next time you're going to see them, when you already have them in front of you, and it makes it much easier. You can make it more appealing by, do you want to come by and do a scan if you happen to have an iTovi, or do you want an experience in Aroma Touch? I'm doing some Aroma Touches next week. Give them another opportunity to have an essential oil experience when you're doing the lifestyle overview. Again, if they don't live near you, mail them an actual physical copy, or at least send them the downloaded copy so that they can look at it and have it in front of them. If you're doing this, then still please try to get with them and show them how to use everything, so that they, again, you don't have to physically be there, but have them do it over Zoom, do it over Skype, or just have them call you. Hey, did you get your package? Was everything in there? Do you have any questions on any of the things that you got? Have them hold them up one by one and just remind them of one thing they can do with each oil. There's still going to be people that you're not going to be able to track down, and maybe they just don't want a lifestyle overview. There are those people that just want to do things on their own, and that's okay. But make sure that you're still sending them little videos. You can find those on the Daily Drop. You can find them really anywhere. Just send them little videos. Hey, I know when we had the Natural Solutions class, you said that you wanted more energy, and I just saw this awesome little video on Mito 2 Max. Or I know you're dealing with some stress right now. Here's an emotion oil video. Just continue to just send them little 2 or 3 minute videos or texts to let them know that you are there, so that when they do need you, they know they're gonna have your support. And then also just, again, continue to follow up, especially on those personal enrollments. Create that relationship, because again, it's going to pay off. The more you can create in the beginning is going to pay off later. And I always think that these things are not going to take very long, and then I just keep talking. So I'm glad I was going to try and do the membership overview this week, but I'm glad we just kept it to the lifestyle. I don't want these webinars to take too much of your time. So in closing, I just wanted to touch on, I'm headed off to leadership in the morning, and I just wanted to kind of touch on that I hope that it's all of your goals to join us at leadership next year. The secret is I actually love leadership more than I love convention. It is when doTERRA focuses on us as leaders and helps you grow personally, and it's personal development, and I just love it. What is hard for me sometimes with leadership, and I've been talking to Miranda about this the last couple of weeks, and Anne-Marie mentioned it in her live last week, is comparison. We've all heard that comparison is the thief of joy, right? That was Theodore Roosevelt, and I think Miranda talked about this on last week's class, that a flower doesn't think of competing with the other flowers next to it, it just blooms, right? But we spend a lot of time competing or comparing ourselves to other people, and I'm guilty of this. And this came up for me in the last week. Not only did I get 2 large leadership magazines in the mail, which are fabulous, all these people rank advancing and all of these people touching people's lives, and how awesome is that we have so many people, that we have 2 magazines and they're very thick, and everything is so wonderful about it. But it's also very easy to look at that and compare and say, you know what, I haven't rank advanced in a year, or how are these people doing? And it looks so easy. And it's kind of that social media aspect where everything on social media looks fantastic and easy and great, and we start comparing and thinking that that's how their life is perfect and mine's not that way. And it's really easy to fall into that comparison trap for all of us. And so I just wanted to touch on this a little bit just at the end of this webinar today, to really stop comparing ourselves to other people. And this quote by Eleanor Roosevelt I really love, because it helps me to remember that it really isn't about me. She says, you wouldn't worry so much about what others think of you if you realized how seldom they do. And so why are we comparing ourselves to people? Why are we so worried about what other people will think? You know, this came up for me. Oh, you know, at leadership, are they going to notice that 2 years ago at leadership I was a blue diamond and now I'm only a diamond? And no one's going to know or care. And it helps me to realize this. It kind of is a self-check, you know. People seldom are going to notice what we think they're going to notice. And so this really isn't about us. This is about getting outside of ourselves and sharing these wonderful products with other people and changing lives, our life included, but helping other people change their lives and not comparing ourselves to others and getting down. Beauty begins the moment we decide to be ourselves, the moment that we don't care what other people are doing and what other people are thinking, the moment we decide to be ourselves, know our own strengths, know who we are, that's when the beauty begins. And this is what I want you guys to realize. You guys are so beautiful inside and out, and you have so much to share and to give, not just these beautiful oils and products, but yourself. Share and give of yourself, because the true beauty lies in the relationships that you're going to form with people. I love this. The only person you should try to be better than is who you were yesterday. So the only person that really you should be comparing yourself with is you. And this doesn't mean you should get down on yourself if you have a bad day, but really all we should be doing is trying to better ourselves, trying to be better than we were yesterday, just a little bit, just trying to find out who we are a little bit more and give a little bit more and serve a little bit more and just try to be a little bit better. So the only person, again, you should try to be better than is just yourself, who you were yesterday. And I just want to end with this. Personality begins where comparison leaves off. So you guys remember that. Be unique, be memorable, be confident, be proud. Use that bergamot oil and know who you are. Know that you're beautiful. Know that you're amazing. Know that you have gifts that nobody else has. Know that there are people that are waiting for you. There are people that are going to only connect with you and that need to have these oils and need to be touched by your gifts. Know how powerful you are. Know how wonderful you are. We love you and we see this in you, and I hope that you can, and know that these words are for me too, I hope that we can all stop comparing ourselves to other people, to look in the mirror and realize that we have what it takes, and to be confident, be memorable, be unique, be proud of who you are. Be yourself and go out there and share these wonderful oils with people and change lives. And I just want to say, have a great week, you guys. I think you're amazing. I hope things are going well. And we will talk to you next week. See ya.